welcome to the deep dive. So if you're thinking about upgrading the panel computer on your OKUMA OSP-P200L CNC machine.
Yeah, specifically that jump from, say, a PNC1 or PNC2 up to the PNC4.
Exactly. Then you're definitely in the right place. We know you want the info fast, but also, thoroughly.
Right. Think of this as your shortcut, your deep dive into understanding this whole upgrade thing.
We've basically gone through a pretty detailed YouTube video transcript showing exactly how this upgrade is done.
And our mission here is really to pull out the essential steps, the things to watch out for, the key details.
So let's maybe kick off with what you actually need, the materials.
Okay. So the video mentioned a Windows system DVD, your OSP system DVD, the one for the P200L specifically.
And that installation RK for P200 DVD sounds like a few discs.
It is, though there's a bit of good news. The new PNC4 panel PC itself, it probably comes with Windows already on it.
Ah, okay. So that saves a step, potentially.
Definitely simplifies the start. But, and this is huge, regardless of that pre-installed Windows, the very first thing you have to do.
Let me guess. Backup.
Backup. A full system and user backup from your current panel, the PNC2 in the video's case. Absolutely crucial.
Okay, walk us through getting that backup done. It's not just hitting backup, is it?
No. You have to get into the maintenance tool first. So you reboot the machine.
Right.
Wait till you see the mouse cursor pop up. Then, and this is specific press, and hold down the Shift key.
Okay, holding Shift.
While holding Shift, you type in the password. It's OKUMA, all lowercase.
Got it. OKUMA.
Followed immediately by OSP. So OKUMA OSP. All one word, case sensitive like that.
Like a secret code to get behind the scenes.
Exactly. It bypasses the main CNC stuff and gets you to these core maintenance options.
Okay, I'm in the maintenance tool. Now what for the backup?
Right. You'll need some hardware here. An external USB DVD reader.
Because the machine might not have one built in anymore or rely on DVDs.
Precisely. And a decent-sized USB drive to actually save the backup files onto.
Makes sense.
So first up is the system data backup. The video shows it initially saves to the compact flash, which usually shows up as the Q drive.
Okay.
Now here's a key point. Check the dates on any existing backup files there. In the video, they were ancient, like from 2010.
Wow, okay, so definitely don't rely on those.
Absolutely not. You need to tell it to overwrite them, make sure you get a fresh backup. The video showed the new files appearing with the correct date and time, like November 22nd, 11:42 a.m. Seeing that confirmation is pretty important.
Yeah, peace of mind, right?
Yeah.
Knowing you have a current snapshot.
Exactly. Then you do the user data backup. It's a similar process. Creates a new MD1 folder on that Q drive. Again, you'll likely want to overwrite anything old in there.
Okay, so system data, user data, both backed up to the Q drive initially.
Correct. But then the person in the video did something extra smart. They made a new folder on the USB drive.
The external one.
Yeah, the external USB. Gave it a temporary name, something like a WN input.
A bit cryptic. Maybe rename that later.
Yeah, definitely rename it. But the point is, they copied both the system backup files and the user backup files from the Q drive over to this folder on the USB stick.
Double redundancy. I like it. So you have the backups on the internal CF and on the external USB.
Exactly. Smart move. Don't rely on just one location.
The video also kind of shows the hardware bits, right? The compact flash card.
Yeah, the CF card, which is basically storage inside the CNC, and then you've got the SSD, the solid-state drive, inside the new PNC4 panel computer.
Which is faster, more reliable than old hard drives.
For sure. And interestingly, the PNC4 has an adapter for that compact flash, and it uses this newer memory type called CFAS.
CFAS, okay, new term for me.
Yeah, they mentioned it's similar to what's in some other OKUMA machines, like the B000300 series. It seems to hold important configuration stuff because they even mentioned a whole separate video just on how to clone the CFAS memory.
Wow. Okay, so getting that CFAS data copied over is probably another key step for making sure the machine runs right with the new panel.
Seems very likely, yes. Cloning implies it's not just a simple file copy. It's maybe a bit more involved to get those specific settings transferred correctly.
All right, so backups are done, double-checked, copied to USB. We understand the hardware bits like CFAS a little better. Now, installing the new PNC4 panel.
Right. Installation and then restoring those backups. First, you take the OSP installation DVD.
Okay, one of the specific DVDs we needed.
Yep. Put that into the external DVD reader, which is plugged into the new PNC4 panel.
And then, does it just go?
Pretty much. The video shows an installation application just runs automatically. It works its way through 14 steps, apparently.
14 steps. Does it take long?
Seems reasonably quick, but they did mention a noticeable pause around step 7, so, don't panic if it seems to hang there for a moment.
Okay, good tip. Patience is key. It finishes step 14 eventually.
Yep, it gets through it.
Yeah.
Then, the next thing shown is restoring the user data. They tried it, and it worked successfully. Phew.
Okay, good. User data restored. What's next? Another DVD.
You got it. Now you need the OSP system DVD.
Right, the other main one.
And an interesting side note from the video, for this specific process on these OSP-P200L machines, the serial number on that system DVD apparently doesn't really matter.
Huh. Really? So you could potentially use one from another similar machine for this stage?
It seems that way for the initial install, yeah. Maybe the machine-specific licensing kicks in later. It's a bit unclear, but that's what the video suggested for this model. Wouldn't assume that's true everywhere, though.
You caveat. So you put the system DVD in. What happens then?
It does its thing, and then you get to this really critical screen. It says, install is success.
Okay. Sounds good. We're done, right?
Oh, hold on. This is super important. The video stressed. When you see that success screen, do not press any key.
Don't touch anything.
Nope. Just power cycle the machine, turn it off, and then back on again.
Why? What happens if you press a key?
Good question. The thinking is that pressing a key might interrupt the final configuration process that happens during that first clean boot after installation. You could end up with, I don't know, corrupted files or an incomplete setup.
Yikes. Okay, so install is success. Power cycle. Got it.
Exactly. Don't mess that bit up.
Okay, so we've power cycled. The new panel boots up. Hopefully everything looks okay.
Hopefully, but you're not quite done. Now come the post-upgrade checks, first thing they did in the video. Back into the maintenance tool.
Ah, the old shift key and OKUMA OSP password trick again.
You know it. Get back into that maintenance environment, and you should see the backup options are available there now on the new system.
Okay.
And guess what they did?
Made another backup.
Yep. A bit redundant maybe, but hey, why not? Backed it up again to the USB drive. Belt and suspenders approach.
Can't argue with being thorough, I suppose. What else?
They showed how to gather system logs. There's an option for top sharing logs.
Logs? Why would you need those right away?
Well, if something does seem off later, or even just for peace of mind, these logs can be super useful for diagnostics. Or you might need to send them to OKUMA support.
Ah, okay. Proactive troubleshooting. How do you get them?
You navigate using the File Explorer. They called it the Accessories Explorer. Find a ZIP file that contains all these logs.
Right.
And copy that ZIP file over to your USB drive. They put it in that same folder they'd made earlier, the one they renamed from a WN input to AWN input.
Okay, logs saved to USB. Makes sense.
And one more backup step they did. They created another new folder on the USB called CFast.
CFast. Ah, related to that CFAS memory, maybe.
Exactly. They then copied the entire contents of the Q drive, which is the storage on the new PNC4, into that CFast folder.
So basically a full backup image of the brand new, freshly installed system configuration.
Precisely. Another recovery point if things go sideways later. Super thorough.
Okay, multiple backups made, logs gathered. Surely now it's time to actually see if the machine runs.
Almost. They did one quick test from the maintenance tool itself. There's an NC Start option.
Oh, so you can try running a program without fully rebooting into the normal CNC mode.
Apparently so. They used that and hit the cancel key, and the program actually ran successfully right there. Kind of neat for a quick check.
Huh, handy shortcut. But you still need to do a full boot and proper tests, right?
Oh, absolutely. After exiting the maintenance tool and letting it boot normally, they checked the basics, like date and time.
Ah, yeah, the simple stuff that can trip you up. Was it correct?
It was off by a day, actually, and the time zone needed adjusting to get the AM/PM right. Small details, but important.
Definitely. Accurate time is needed for logs and scheduling and all that.
For sure. Then, the real test. Manual machine functions. They indexed the turret on channel A, worked fine.
Okay, good start.
Then they tried channel B, and initially, it didn't index.
Uh-oh.
A minor hiccup. They figured out they needed to move the Z-axis manually to its positive sublimit first.
Weird dependency. Z-axis position affecting B channel turret index.
Yeah, it highlights how interconnected these systems are. But once they moved the Z-axis, channel B indexed fine.
Phew. So after that little adjustment, everything seemed to be running correctly.
Looked like it, yeah. Machine responding, axis moving, turrets indexing. Success.
Okay, let's wrap this deep dive up then. Key takeaways for upgrading that OKUMA panel computer, PNC1 or 2 to PNC4.
Number 1, without a doubt, backups. Full system, full user data right at the start. Maybe even copy them somewhere else, like that USB stick.
Absolutely. Then it's that multi-DVD installation process. Following the steps carefully, especially the OSP installation and system DVDs.
And remember that crucial bit when it says, install a success, just power cycle, don't press anything.
Right. And finally, don't just walk away. Do those post-installation checks, grab the logs, maybe make another backup of the fresh system.
Check the date and time.
And most importantly, manually test the machine's functions. Indexing, axis, make sure it all actually works as expected. Sometimes you hit small snags like that Z-axis thing.
It's definitely a detailed procedure, isn't it? Shows how much goes into these machines.
It really does. The level of detail involved makes you think, doesn't it? With industrial machinery getting more and more complex, what are the bigger implications of needing these kinds of intricate upgrade processes? Thinking about maintenance long-term, keeping things running smoothly.
Yeah, and what other parts of CNC maintenance might need this same level of, careful step-by-step attention, things we maybe don't always think about until we have to do them.
Definitely something to chew on after this deep dive.